the nasal spray is something that we developed based off of the health tonic formulation. Dad, do you have anything that you want to say about the nasal spray?
Yeah, the nasal spray was developed after a testimony. We used the health tonic, what we call health tonic today. We use that in a nasal spray bottle in its present form. And a friend of mine, Richard McMahon, he had suffered from sinusitis attacks his whole life, and he's my age, So we were just experimenting, and he was having a real hard time with sinus problems and headaches and this and that. So we put it in its raw form into a nasal spray bottle, and he shot that up both nostrils. And I watched his eyes getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he started weeping and crying. And I left him about that. Poor guy. He emptied out. He ended up using all of his tissues and ended up with a bath towel, using that as a and filled the bath towel. That was about 10 years ago. He'd never had a sinus attack since.
Yeah.
60 years of his life he'd suffered with that.
I had one also, one of my roommates when we were in South Africa had a really bad cold and his nose was just running and blocked up. And he said, "Hey, do you think the health tonic would work?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what you would do." And he was like, "I don't know, man. I've got to do something." So he gets a teaspoon and he pours some health tonic onto the teaspoon and he sticks it up by his nose and with all his might sucks it in because his nose was so blocked. And he goes in and the same thing, you just see his eyes start opening wider and wider and he starts breathing in. He's like, it's working. And then the horror hits and he's like, oh, it's strong.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, oh man, oh. But the same thing, from that moment, it loosened up and it all came out. And I don't think he ever did it again, but it worked and it worked quickly. And then when we had when we were at our manufacturing facility in South Africa, working on this, one of the guys, Miles, and myself, we were messing around with it also, trying to figure out what a good dilution ratio would be. And we had tested it so many times that we actually felt all of this cloudiness and I don't even know how to explain it, but we felt it sucking stuff even from our ears. It was sucking something in from our ears and coming out of our nose because we had been doing it so often, like every couple of days we were trying it over and over again, trying to get a good dilution rate. So we used that a lot, but we felt even from our eardrums were pulling in and something was like sucking through our eardrums and coming out through the nasal cavity. So it did take us a while to get the formulation right and to get it, to a point where you're able to use it more often. But it's something that we highly recommend, especially for people getting, the swabs and stuff in their noses. Like we don't know what kind of damage could be getting done there if you're getting tested regularly. So that's something we do recommend to help repairing that damage. But then anything to do with sinuses and colds, allergies, all that kind of stuff, I think is fantastic